Bitcoin's new all-time high and Trump's tariff stimulus plan. This is the start of a new crypto rally. Let's talk about it. But first, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's do it. Another walk and talk. So, we broke a new all-time high on Bitcoin. Kind of came out of nowhere. Kind of bumping along at that 113, 115, 117, 118, kind of creeped up in the 120, 122, and then pow, 125. Government shutdown. That's what I'm saying. Markets usually do well when we have these shutdowns. Crypto's no different. Government's out of the way, and usually when the government shuts down like this, history has shown us that the market does well. And generally after the shutdown, when it opens back up, and eventually it will, they'll figure something out, market will just rally. And the beauty of this is we're in Q4 of one of the most bullish times of the year for crypto, and all the stars are aligning. So these next 3 months are going to be something else. You guys watch it. If history tells us anything, it's going to be a really fun time. And if you're holding some altcoins and some of these top 20 cryptocurrencies, you buckle up, and even the top 100. So you'll see the money roll down to Ethereum, and Ethereum's done well too. But you'll see it roll down into Solana and Chainlink and Avalanche and Sui, and it'll just keep rolling down. So if you're in the good solid altcoin projects, get ready. Your day's coming. All this time we've waited for the market to really take off in the crypto space, I think it's coming. And just the stars are aligning. You take that and then put on top of it, Trump just came out the other day, this past week, just a few days ago actually, and said he's looking to take all this tariff revenue and send out stimulus checks to $1,000, $2,000 to all the taxpayers. If that happens, oh, you better really buckle up. That takes us back to pandemic days, and that's when we saw in 2020, 2021, when we saw the last huge crypto run, when the crypto just went crazy. We minted a ton of new millionaires during that time that were in crypto. So if he's able to get that through, that's going to be big, and I'm for it. You know, hey, this tariff revenue, I'm for these policies. You give this money back to the people. We've been over there propping up all these other countries for so long. It's time for us to get it back. We've been paying the bill for all these places for forever, and it wouldn't hurt my feelings one bit to get a $1,000, $2,000 check in the mail. So what will that do? Where will that money go? A lot of it's going to go into investments. What kind of investments? Like we've said, if you've been watching my channel, high risk. People are going to put it into high risk. Why? Because you don't have a choice. If you want a return on it, people are going to want to take that 1,000, 2,000, turn it into 5, 10, and where are they going to go? They're going to go where they can get the highest return. What is that? Bitcoin, crypto. That's where they're going. Tech stocks, high risk, AI stocks, quantum. You watch out, quantum. I see a lot of early money getting into quantum. Nobody cares about quantum tech stocks now, but you just wait. 5 years from now, everybody will be talking about quantum stocks. We'll have the Magnificent 10 or something, and we'll have the quantum stocks in there. So buckle up, guys. It's about to happen. We're just priming things up for that to be a reality. A little train coming through here where I'm at. That's pretty cool. So yeah, we're about to hit Q4. We're about to see a big crypto surge. I really do. October, November, December historically been great. Last time this happened, we did happen last year, but not to the level it would if you go back to 2021 Q4. That's when you would, fast forward 4 years, 2025. It's now, and this is what we've all been waiting for. If you're in the crypto space, you know the deal. So it's what you've been waiting for. So look out, guys. Get ready. I also think too, the stats show when we have a government shutdown, usually 6 months after that, I think I saw the stat this morning. I think I saw you'll see about an 18% rise in the NASDAQ 100. That's pretty good after a shutdown. So 6 months after, I think I was 18%. I might have to double check that, but it's close. But anyway, yeah, I mean, so I think we've still got some room in the tank. I know there's a lot of fears that we're in this big bubble, this big AI bubble, and is it gonna pop? And is it like the .com bubble? Are we there? And you know, I get it. I mean, I see where people are coming from, but what people don't understand, why this time is different, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, these are real companies now with real incomes, real cash flows, real products, real customers. We didn't have that in the .com. We just had a bunch of ideas on napkins that were getting huge funding. That's different. It's not the same now as it was then, so that's a big thing. And we also have an adjustment in assets with all of this money that we've printed. It appears to be expensive and it appears to be overly inflated, but is it really? We talked about how the value of things in the last video I did, and that video was very popular, by the way. I got a lot of attention. It's probably the best video I've ever done. Was you had the only option was the title, was the thumbnail of the video, and people really like that. Is assets, the value of the assets really hasn't changed. Just the debasement of the currency that's the problem. We've just got more paper, and so it takes more paper. And so you're going to see more of that. I saw a stat that we've debased our currency this year in 2025. I saw this morning as well. 10%. We've just debased our currency 10% in 2025, and we're not even done with it yet. How is that supposed to be sustainable? How's that going to work out? That can't work out well. And I haven't even talked about the debt yet in any of my videos. $37 trillion and counting. And it's climbing, and it's exponential too, guys. It's not linear. The debt doesn't grow in a straight line. It grows exponentially on a curve that gets steeper as time moves. And interest on top of that compounds, the compounding effect of money. Again, it goes both ways, from the good and the bad. So yeah, it's not this whole debasement of currency and the debt we're in. There's a reason why gold is skyrocketing like it is right now, and silver. Look at silver. I've just been acquiring some of that too. Not that I necessarily think it's the end all be all. I mean, I'm more of a digital assets guy. I think you all know that by now, but hey, let's get some gold and silver too. Why not? Have a little bit of all of it. I'm good with that. So I want to switch gears a little bit, and I know some of you guys, especially these Gen Z, Millennials, I've had some good comments on my videos lately from Millennials. I had somebody come in my last video and a comment and said, it's really cool that there's a Gen Xer out there that actually understands what we're going through, signed a Millennial. I get it, guys. I've got 2 Gen Zs. I try to live a realistic, be realist, not overly pessimistic, not overly optimistic. I call it as it is, and generally speaking, and you're going to get that on my channel. I'm not going to say, oh, it's great when it really isn't. I'm not going to say, oh, it's crap when it's not. I'm going to call it as it is. I'm a truth teller, and so the job market right now, and if you're in this younger age, these millennials. I understand what you're going through. I really do. And I put myself in your shoes. If I'm coming out of college right now, or I'm in my 20s or 30s, or I'm a young millennial right on the edge between a millennial and a Gen Z. And let's just leave the alphas out of it yet, because they're not quite there to be in the real world of working and post college and all that. I get it. You're coming out in the world saying, well, look at this bag of junk that the Gen Xers or the older millennials or the baby boomers left us. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. So I'm supposed to come out here. How am I going to buy a house? I mean, you guys inflated this stuff. You printed all this money. Your debt's out of control. You've been preaching this American dream on us for here's the textbook. It says American dream. Read this, right? Well, yeah, that's great. But how am I going to do that? How's this going to work? You tell me to go out of school, you get out of school, you go take all these AP classes, right? Go all these AP classes. You go take the SAT, the ACT. You get your 36, your 35. You ace it. You get your 1500, your 1400 on your SAT. Oh, you're super smart. You take 25 AP classes in school. Oh yeah, that's great. And you go to your top big schools, your SEC schools, your Ivy League schools. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, you're great. All of that. And lo and behold, how are you going to pay for it? Hopefully mom and dad have a 529 saved up for you, or hopefully you're smart enough where you get scholarship, or hopefully you're an athlete, you get an athletic scholarship, or if you're fortunate enough to go to a school that'll stack a scholarship, athletic and academic, that you're in that situation. My daughter had that. And decided that she didn't want to be. She was in golf, and she had a full ride golf scholarship. Decided that, you know what, I don't want to be a pro golfer. So she's decided to basically go Naval Academy. Well, that's tough. So she's going to do that. So she's basically going all of that, and she's got a good plan, another plan, and I've talked about that in my previous video. But you know, she had a data analytics degree where she was, and that degree for what? And I'm going to explain that here in just a minute of why that we pivoted. She's pivoted and punted on that, and we're going to do something different because of what I'm about to tell you. So there was an article that I read talking about how the kids coming out of college now, the job opportunities and the unemployment is just not good. And I noticed too that the searches for second jobs have reached an all-time high, surpassing the 2008 financial crisis and the COVID pandemic levels. So what does that mean? That means that people can't afford to make ends meet. The stuff is so expensive, inflation, that people are having to look for second jobs to make ends meet. And so with this article, they're saying that the data shows that first-time job hunters, that a college degree isn't unlocking the opportunities that it once did. It's just not. And there's a lot of reasons why that's the case. And we've talked about some of those on my previous videos. Bachelor degree holders between 20 and 24 years old have long benefited from a lower unemployment rate compared to those with just high school diplomas. But the gap between those two groups is the smallest since the 2000s. So what does that mean? It means that it used to be, and this is how I was trained growing up, you got to go to college. Because if you don't have a college degree, you're not going to be able to get a good job, and you're going to suffer because you don't have that college degree on your resume. Well, that used to really be the case, but that's changing now. So what this is saying is the gap between someone who has a college degree and one that just has a high school diploma, that gap is narrowed. It's changed, and it's changed here recently. I would say it's really changed a lot since the pandemic in the last 5 years, to where that's just not the case. People have had to retool themselves in their lives to adapt. And also too, guys, you got to understand, we are in an attention society now. It's just different now. Everything is YouTube now. It's social media. We've got influencers out there that if you're coming out of high school and you've got a decent social media account on Instagram or TikTok or any of these platforms, I mean, you can make some mega money right out of high school and not even go to college, and just with a personality and kill it. Why would you go and spend 4 years at college when if you have a decent social media account and you can basically be an entrepreneur? You work for yourself. So people are figuring that out, and they're saying, hey, why do I want to be strapped with all this debt going to college when I can just go out here and take my talent that I know I have and be an influencer or something I'm good at, or promote products that I enjoy, that I like, or clothes that I wear, or what have you. And there are people that are doing extremely well. I mean, the amount of money that some of these influencers are making is incredible. So there are other ways to make it now. That we're not in this the knowledge economy that we've been in years ago. It's now we've shifted into the attention-based economy. If you're not about getting attention now, or trying to get people's attention, you're late. you're out. That's the new Gen Z model now. That's what they're after, and that's what's paying the money. So that's what they're going to chase, and that's what they're doing. We're in this new digital economy now. That's where it's all going. Social media. We've got these devices, just like what I'm doing right here with the YouTube channel. That's just the way it is, and you have to adapt. And there are people that are the ones that are adapting and getting out in front. Those are the ones that are winning. So they go on to talk about the rise of AI has raised alarms that entry-level roles will be automated away, and that's true. You go apply for a job, right? And typically an entry-level job is not a director level or a C-level position in a company. You know, you're starting at the bottom. Well, let me tell you what the reality of it is. Unless you're going to be a doctor, a lawyer, something like, even lawyers now, I mean, AI can do some stuff. There's some question about what AI can do with some of this legal stuff now, and it's only going to, these large language models and AI is only going to make that better. What I'm getting at is the number of career paths that you can take now is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So if you're coming out of college now with a degree, and I'm not here to offend anybody, because look, I've got a computer science degree. My daughter was getting a data analytics degree. Good luck. I mean, that's sad for me to say, because I've built an incredible career in that field, and here I am, would have never thought in 2025 I'd be sitting here on this video talking to you and telling you that it's not lucrative anymore. It's crazy for me to say that. So you got to keep that in mind. Just in August, Stanford published a study that found that workers between the ages of 22 and 25 in jobs that are most exposed to AI has seen a 13% decline in employment since 2022. Anecdotally, executives at companies ranging from Walmart to Accenture have said the technology will drastically reshape their labor forces. And that is happening. I just talked about this the other day, that Walmart is retooling what they're doing and how they're essentially retraining their employees to handle this new wave of AI. And they're also, you know, Walmart is essentially, they're the largest employer in the world. And on top of that, they are one of them and Amazon are the logistics. They're masters of logistics. So do you think they're going to leverage AI to figure logistics out? You damn well better believe they are, and that's what they're doing. They're going to leverage this technology to improve their operations, and it will happen. It absolutely will happen. So today's 18 to 34-year-olds rate their probability of losing a job in the next 5 years at the highest level since 2013. I mean, it's not going to get better, unfortunately. I just don't see it happening. It's going to this decline or the increase in unemployment for all these new, it's just so many people coming out, and the number of jobs available are just going to continue to decrease. In the technology industry, the decline in the entry-level hiring with little work experience has plunged more than 50% at large cap tech companies between 2019 and 2024. That's unbelievable. And we're talking about entry-level hiring with little work experience has plunged 50%. So that's computer science, that's tech, if you're coming out with degrees in that, that's 50% less in the last 6 years. This was 2019 to 2024. So in the last 6 years, that's a huge drop. So here we are, Gen Z's coming out, and that's why they're opting not to spend all this time and money on trying to chase these degrees to come out with what? Strapped with a bunch of debt? Not many families can afford don't have 529 savings plans. And these college degrees aren't getting cheaper. They're getting more expensive. So it's unfortunate. And so at startups, that number has dropped more than 47%. So startups will typically hire more of your younger entry-level positions. Why? Because they're cheaper. You're young, talented. They're more resilient. They're younger. They can burn the candle at both ends, so to speak. And so they can hire more talent fresh out of school, and their salaries are typically lower because they're entry level. So these are astonishing numbers, and they just keep pouring in. Every time, every day, I'm seeing more and more and more. So you got two choices to make. You can look at that and say, well, okay, yeah, whatever, that's just a fad. Or you can say, red alert, let's do something about it. Well, if I have a choice between just ignoring it or paying attention and preparing or doing something about it, I'm going to side on paying attention and doing something about it than just ignoring what the reality of it is. So then that's the way I look at it. You're free to do how you do, but you got to prepare accordingly. In the next 5 years, you've heard me say, things are about to get really interesting with unemployment, with artificial intelligence, cryptocurrency, blockchain. We're going through a new tech revolution like we did with the internet, but this one is going to be much bigger, much faster, and not only is that going to happen, but it's going to change the employment landscape of this country and this society. And I don't think that this society knows or has any idea what is about to happen. And I'm here to tell you, if you're watching this channel, you better pay attention and you better do your research and you better listen up, because I'll keep pumping you this information and try to help you get ahead of the game, because the ones who win in nearly anything in life are the ones who get ahead, not the ones who are reactive, but the ones who are proactive to the situation at hand. So that's my best advice for you on that. So in all of that, here's a little real life story that goes along with all this data and all this that I just told you about. So 2 days ago, we were getting ready to go to, my youngest daughter has a big Bands of America band competition, and we were getting ready to load the semi truck. This is a competitive band. We travel all over the place, and it's a big semi truck, big deal. So we're loading this truck up, and I'm standing out, we're wrapping it up, and I'm standing with one of the band directors and then another parent, dad, that's right next to me. Well, where we live here in Tennessee, there's a big company, I won't mention the name, huge company that's headquartered near us here. And we were talking about, there was another dad there as well, and he went to Vanderbilt. And I said, what'd you get your degree in? He said, I'm a computer engineer. I got my undergrad there, and I got my master's degree in computer engineering. I said, oh, same here. I'm computer science as well. I went to school in Alabama, but yeah, same thing. He said, oh, really? That's cool. You run into that every day. He's like, yeah. So when we started talking about AI, and he's like, yeah, get ready. From one computer engineer to another computer engineer. Well, there happened to be this other dad just standing there listening to all this, and he has a high-level project management in this huge company. It's you would know the name. It's a top company. I'm not mentioning the name here in the video. He is and he manages human capital projects for this company. So what does that mean? So he looks at their employment projections for the near term, the midterm, and the long term. So he runs analysis and projections and runs projects to determine, what do we have for employment goals in the near term, midterm, and long term. And he runs projects and analysis to be able to prepare the company and for being able to fulfill those needs in those time frames. And so he says, hey, it's interesting you bring this up, because let me tell you a little story. I said, yeah, let's hear it. And he says, so we're in the need to hire 7 data analyst interns for the summer, 7 of them. He said, guess how many applications we received? These are not normal employed, not graduates out of college for employment positions full-time. These are just summer intern positions. We were looking for 7 of those. Guess how many applications we got? And I'm sitting here thinking, well, it's either a really low number or it's a really large number if he's asking. And I'm thinking it's got to be high. And I said, I'm going to say a couple thousand. 10,200 applications for a data analyst role at this company. 10,200 of them. data analysts. These are smart type people, data analyst roles that, you know, these aren't just like run of the mill. I mean, these are, you know, somewhat specialty type of degrees to, you know, just computer science data analysts. It's 10,200 of them. If you're one of those, your chances are, do the math, 7 into 10,200, that's your chances. Might as well just call it 0. You aren't going, you're not going to work there. He said it's so crazy that they had one of the applicants reach out to them from Cal Berkeley, that was willing to do it for free just to get in the door. So work the entire summer for $0 just to get the opportunity. How is this? This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. So if you're a Gen Z, or you're looking to go to college, or you're wrapping it up, this is what you're up against. When I graduated from college with a computer science degree, I was recruited 3 months before I even graduated college. This was back in 1996. I was recruited before I even graduated from a mid-major college in Alabama. Nothing massive. And it was a small computer science department. We were accredited, but it wasn't computer science. It wasn't Purdue. It wasn't Clemson. It wasn't Georgia Tech. It wasn't MIT. It was just a small mid-major school with a small computer science accredited department. The demand was so high back then. I got a job. The salary that I got right out of college, I'll go ahead and tell you, it was $50,000 a year. But it was travel 100%. And I thought I was a millionaire. And I had that job lined up 3 months before I even graduated college. And I had been working waiting tables and to make ends meet in college and whatnot. And to go from waiting tables in college and being a manager at a pizza restaurant and doing, you know, what you would do then and to make ends meet. I going from doing that to making $50,000 a year as a traveling technical consultant right out of college, making $50,000 a year with a per diem. And so what does that mean? That means that they were paying me, I think it was like $40 a day for food. They paid for my rental car, they paid for my airfare, they paid for my hotel, they paid for everything, and I got a $40 a day allowance for food. So basically my paycheck, and I got 401k, I got matching, they matched, I got health care, I got it all. So my $50,000 that I got back in 1996, back then, that was huge. Coming out of college, out of mid-major, that was the demand. A recruiter, a headhunter hunted me down before I even graduated from college, and that's what happened. And that's not happening anymore. Those days are gone, unless you're just a phenom. And those are few and far between. So I just want to share that story with you. All this data is like, okay, yeah, great, Gen X guy, that's great. You got all this data, but what's that mean in the real world? Give me some real stuff to chew on here. Well, there you have it. This is coming from 2 days ago, sitting around small talking outside the band semi-trailer. There you go. Real deal. And I mean, he couldn't believe it. He's like, I can't even process 10,000. I can't even process 1,000 of these things. And so, but we got tools like AI. He says, I can use tools like that. And he says, we've got using Microsoft Copilot and spreadsheets now. You don't even have to, there's no writing formulas anymore. It just does it for you. He says, so I'm able to automate it a lot. But anyway, wanted to share that to give you a little real life story to back up some of this job and college degree, coming out of college talk, to kind of back up the data. But anyway, things are good now, guys, as far as Bitcoin all-time high. Trump's looking to take some of this tariff money and give it back to the people, which, yeah, let's do that. Let's give it back to the people. We've been paying everybody else and sending them all, propping up all these other countries up. It's time for us to get a little bit of it back. So I'll take any. So that's great. And that'll be good for investments. It'll do well. Is it good for inflation? Probably not going to be the best for inflation. It's probably not going to dig us out of the problem. It's probably going to make inflation either stay the same or maybe go up a little bit. So that's kind of the trade-off, right? So with that, and then we're just in good times right now with the market. Hopefully it stays that way, but you know, you never know. I don't have a crystal ball, and neither do you, as I've said. So we just kind of take it one day at a time, plan accordingly, and that's it. So anyway, guys, I hope you're having a great day. I appreciate you watching the channel. If you would, do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and have a good day. And Gen X guy out. See ya.